Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Atlanta Falcons Nation Thursday night, people. And if you're in Georgia right now, be safe while you're watching. Now, if you get a storm, them powers go out, don't worry about it. Get safe because it's getting bad in Georgia. But let's go ahead and start it off, get everybody a chance to get in here, and let's go ahead, in case you don't know who we are, before we introduce the special guest of the hour. If people don't know who I am, look at it. Everybody's in here already. I'm Miss Maggie T. And right next to me, who do we have?
J-Rock for life. You already know who it is.
And below J-Rock, who is it? Who is it?
Twisted Torch TV, Jumpman T. Follow me.
All right. That's right. Follow him on YouTube. Definitely. He's awesome with his content as well. Make sure you follow him. Both of these two are Atlanta Falcons Nation's finest, of course, but the lady of the hour, and I'm excited about this because it is another lady. You know how long I've been broadcasting and been asking women, come join me, and no one's budging. Maybe once. I think Asia did, and I see Asia in the chat already. I think she's in here. Hey, Asia, boo-boo. But now I'm going to try this.
Drum roll.
Welcome everybody. This is Tori Mcelhaney.
Yeah.
From The Athletic. Look at that.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so excited for this.
Yes, as you can see, everybody is excited. Hello, everybody. Tev, how you doing, Tev? As always, everybody, Miss Mom First, always subscribe to her channel as well, people. She is part of my Lust Exchange series. My channel for that. Follow her. But hey, hello, Tori, she's saying. So we're here, people, and we're getting ready to talk some Falcons football. But first and foremost, we want to get to know the lady of the hour, definitely, because some people might not know the person behind all the wonderful tweets we've been getting this week. So let's start with just kind of getting to know you just a little bit. Pretty much, what inspired you to cover sports, and was that something that you chose to do first?
Yeah, so sports have always been a part of my life for as long as I can remember. My dad was my high school's head football coach for the first 17 years of my life. So every week was spent at football practice. Before I started playing sports myself, I was going to football practice with him, or every single Friday was spent out, watching Friday Night Football all the time. And then Saturday mornings, I have vivid memories of us waking up early back before huddle was a thing, back before emailing film was a thing. We would actually physically get up in the morning, and we would take a cassette VCR tape, and we would travel. We would take the tape and we would meet at a Cracker Barrel, halfway between whatever team my dad's team was playing the next week, and they would trade film. And that's how we traded film. And then I would watch film with my dad, break down film with my dad. And then I started playing. I played softball, basketball, tennis. It was any and everything that I could play, I wanted to play.
I've seen some of the pictures.
Awesome. It just was a part of my life. And then when it came time to think of a career, writing was also, reading and writing was, I have tons of books in my house, in my apartment. And it was always something that I just very much loved to do. I loved to read. I loved to write. And I was like, you know what? It wasn't until college, but I kind of figured out around the time of second semester freshman year, I took a sports media and society class with Vicki Michaelis, who is the founder of the sports media certificate program at the University of Georgia. I took her class, and I realized then, I was like, I could make a career out of two things that I very much love. And that was kind of how I got into sports reporting. And there was a time where I thought I wanted to be on camera, and then I kind of did that, and I was like, you know what? That's probably not for me. I like being able to take my time and not have and actually have an editor that can help me really break down a story and take the time to do that. So that was where I got my start. And then from there, I just kind of said yes to every opportunity. I did a bunch of internships. I worked with Seth Emerson, who now covers the University of Georgia for us at The Athletic. I worked with him when he was at Dog Nation. We covered Georgia football together, and then I covered the Braves for MLB.com for a little bit, and then after that, The Athletic came calling, and I have been with The Athletic since 6 months post grad, which I graduated in May of 2018.
Okay,
and so I've been with the Athletic since probably August of 2018, and I started as a general assignment contributor, just covering stuff in the Atlanta area, and then I got promoted to covering Georgia Tech. And then I got promoted to covering the Falcons. So just moving on up. So that's kind of my whole story in a teeny tiny nutshell.
Well, I'm excited about all of that. I'm inspired by it, honestly, because I'm definitely, what I'm doing now, I kind of report a little bit of the news for Falcons and Hawks, and not a lot of Braves things right now because there's not a lot going on, but I will be covering that a little bit. But you are an inspiration to me. So
thank you. That means so much. I love to hear that. I love it.
So I definitely been following you for quite some time in the Athletic and everything like that. So of course I just saw you on the interview. I was like, oh wow, she's actually doing interviews. So gotta have her on. So definitely. So but I want to kind of get into a little bit let me get to the next one. So basically, what were your challenges you were having coming up, just starting school, wanting to be a journalist, and what were your challenges as a woman, particularly, that you faced?
I think the biggest challenge is just people thinking that I don't really know what I am talking about because I've never actually played the game. And I think that, along with my age, were two things that right off the bat, when I first got my, very first jobs in doing journalism, it was always something that came up. People didn't understand why a 23-year-old woman wanted to do this, and they didn't think that I could do this, which is really sad because yes, I can, and I can do it well. And I know what I'm talking about. Like, you don't, from the time that you're able to comprehend watching football until the time you're 18 years old going to college, and you spend all this time breaking down film with your dad, you pick up a few things.
You pick up a few things.
You pick it up. And I know I haven't played the game, but a lot of people on Twitter who claim to be these, I don't even know, claim to know what they're talking about. Yeah. I guarantee you that I play just as much football as they have.
Couch GMs is what I call them.
Exactly. And so I think that was the biggest challenge, is just breaking down perceptions and barriers of what it means to cover sports in 2020, in 2018, whatever the time period is, and understanding that just just me loving it, just me doing this is enough for me to have a seat at the table. I think there's this big misconception for women, is that we are always expected to have to prove ourselves and to prove that we know what we're talking about and to prove that we know more. And that's not the case. We can prove that we belong here simply because we love doing it and simply because we love being around the game. And I think understanding that as I've gotten older has been something that I look back on coming up through the ranks, and I'm like, you know what? I'm proud of myself for setting a standard and seeing ways that we can make this industry more inclusive for not just women, but people of color, and not just people of color, but we get into sexual identities and gender identities and all that kind of stuff. We can make this a really inclusive place to be, not just for older white men. And I think that's super important in this quest that I think we're all going on. If I'm talking to younger journalists, that's what we're here to do. That's what we're trying to do. And we're trying to tell good stories along the way. So, and have a little bit of fun. So in terms of challenges, it's just breaking down those perceptions.
Yeah. You know what? And I'm glad you mentioned that, because with us starting AFN on YouTube, we spoke earlier, it was just a social media platform, something that me and Matt, you met him, we just was like, hey, we're passionate about the Falcons. Why not start a group and a page where we kind of did our own little content for news breaking and things like that. But it was when we came onto YouTube, that narrative, it was just a lot of people just didn't like the fact that, of course, we was color, people of, we're all in one race, and we're of course we invite everybody with different races and things like that. But of course, our cast is all African American, basically. And sometimes we get a lot of pushback and feedback because we're not trying to be like ESPN. We're not politically correct. We would cuss. We get passionate. We get mad about things. We have a fit. And we're not just trying to be that suit and collar, tie, trying to be upright and just act like something that we're not.
Right. What
Atlanta Falcons Nation is just a group of men and women, hopefully, more women.
Fingers
Think of barber top shop. When you talk in the barber shop, you're talking about football and just like you're comfortable. So all the former players that like to come on, they're just like, I love this atmosphere because I can just kick back and be me.
Totally.
Tori watches film. Matt Mike is impressed. Yeah. So that's our narrative. We're just opening up to, this is a platform for our fans. So we even open it up for the fans to come on and say what they have to say. So it's not just about who you see right here. It's about the people in these chats that are going crazy right about now. So I'm gonna highlight them just a little bit. But I'm glad you said that though. So just kind of want to bring that kicking it real, keeping it real.
Yep.
Is that what it's saying? Yes. So we're just real. We're authentic and we love our Falcons. And we're not saying we're experts at all.
I'm not saying I'm an expert, and they tell me I'm an expert. So, this is all fun. We're all still learning it. I've been on the beat since July, and it was like drinking water out of a fire hydrant there for like a few months and trying to just figure things out. So we're all, even the experts aren't experts. So y'all, yeah. I think y'all are doing a great job.
Glad you pointed that out. You're right.
And as far as what you had said about just getting the feedback of Twitter and things, like I said, it was just, a lot of people was giving me a lot of ugliness, starting out because they're used to Matt Mike. So they was like, who is this woman? What is she doing? And me, honestly, like you said, I really wasn't for the camera either. Like I was more, I'll be in the background, I'll let the guys debate and do, but he was like, no, you got to be on here. You got to show your face. And it's like, no, I'll just slide in the back. So I can't avoid it now, but I love it. I actually enjoy doing this. So I'm getting more comfortable with it, but it's people like you that inspire me to continue to do it despite any challenges. So with that being said, it's something I want to put up. Basically, we want to talk about, I didn't bring up the clip of your reaction to it because you were saying about the Twitter people don't be in your DMs.
Yeah.
But
no DMs.
your thoughts on, of course, the interview with Lee Smith on 92 The Game. How was your reaction to that? So basically, this is what she kind of said. Let me move this up comment so everybody can see it. There we go. And that, we got too many bucks. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. So Lee Smith said he came to Atlanta because of Matt Ryan and the two authors, Smith and Blank. We got to get used to that. Also noted he's a veteran, didn't want to come to an organization that was rebuilding. And I'm just saying that word rebuilding kind of just took Twitter on a frenzy for one thing. And I was just like, all these couch GMs, no, they acting up right about now about what she. So what prompted your reaction? And, how did you feel the interview went and everything? What was your reaction to it?
So I actually really enjoyed the interview. It's really great to talk to these guys because when you're thinking about like what the Falcons are doing in free agency, they're not going to be big players in free agency because they just don't have the funds to be. And so when you think about what they have to do in free agency, they've got to find depth and they've got to do it in a cheap way. And so guys like Lee Smith, guys like Erik Harris, literally these guys are the guys that we have to expect the Falcons are going to go after. And so to be able to talk to these and Brandon Copeland, who we talked today, great interview. Loved chatting with him. But it's these type of guys the Falcons are going after. And so to hear them say what they think about the organization that they're coming into is very interesting to me because I think that you get a lot from them about their perspective of the Falcons and what they think the Falcons need to do to get better and how excited they are for the direction that the organization is going in. But what prompted that tweet was Lee Smith said that he believes that the Falcons are not in a rebuild mode and asked why he didn't think the Falcons were not in a rebuild mode. He said, and I quote, that he thinks that a rebuild involves a quarterback, and he doesn't think that the Falcons are in a position that they're going to rebuild around a quarterback, which I thought was very interesting because that's what we've been talking about in the draft for like the potential of the Falcons drafting a quarterback at number 4. So I thought that was very interesting that he went on the record to say that. And so that's why I tweeted it out. What I didn't expect to happen was people
the
coming,
backlash.
was the backlash of that.
Yeah.
And I was not expecting people to come at me and be like, telling me that I'm an idiot and that I don't know what I'm talking about. The Falcons are absolutely in a rebuild, blah, 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 blah. And I literally had to tweet out. I was like, y'all, today is not the day for y'all to come into my DMs and tell me what I do and don't know. When
I sat there and interviewed, listen to that.
Like,
what are you trying to tell me?
I reported the information to you. This isn't my opinion. And I think a lot of people have this misconception sometimes of journalists being like, oh, they push an agenda. Unless it's a column that I'm writing, everything that I'm writing is not like my opinion. Like, if y'all want my opinion, I'll give you my opinion all day. You don't have to worry about it. I can talk to a brick wall. However, this is reporting. This is reporting what people are saying. And I think we got into I felt a lot of backlash during the season when we were talking about social justice movements and how people were like, why are you giving a platform to this? And it's like, because I want to give a platform to the people who care about this and who are talking about it and wanting to see a change. So I'm going to continue to do that.
Exactly.
So I think like, it's just such like, people just think before you come at me, think before you come at any journalist as to what it is. Are they reporting or are they giving you their opinion? There's a complete difference in those two things.
They just jump into the conclusion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that just Twitter, they're keyboard warriors, I call them. Yeah. And I've seen, it was such a nasty comment to one of a football player, a basketball player or something. He was just like, he retweeted it. And it was just like, it's just people don't care who you are, to be honest.
Yeah.
If they don't feel like you doing what you're supposed to do, especially playing the game right, how they want you to play the game, they coming in your DMs.
Yeah.
If you're not saying what you want them to say, I mean, what they want you to say, they come in your DMs and calling you all types of things. So, it comes with the territory.
Twitter fingers are crazy nowadays, man.
Yep, especially with quarantine. Everybody got a lot of time, so-called.
Everybody can be an expert on anything in quarantine. I mean, I taught myself how to play piano, so like I'm sure people are.
Are we gonna get a snippet of that? Just play.
No, not that good.
Let's get a sample real quick.
That's so funny. It's like, okay, musical stylings by Tori.
I know, right? Exclusive.
An exclusive, yeah. Next time I come on, I'll make sure and bring a keyboard out and just start playing for you guys.
Oh, that'd be great.
Let's make sure I follow Tori on Twitter. Yes, please.
Make sure y'all do that. Please
follow her, definitely.
Yeah, so, it's at Tori _Mcelhaney, spelled exactly kind of how you think it's spelled.
There you go. I said it right the first time, so I'm not saying it again. So let's get into the good stuff. I know everybody's here for those Falcons.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. So I already sent you some things and you already kind of know where it's going to go. So we kind of, pick and choose some couple of things that we want to talk about. And I guess everybody on this cast has probably asked you a couple of questions. And then just let us know when your time is done and everything. But we're loving you. So stay as long as you want to.
Great.
Definitely.
Let's go ahead into... What do you feel about the hire of Arthur Smith and Terry?
I think it's so fascinating. I think it's a really interesting duo. And I think it's interesting because from my lens as a storyteller, I think that their stories actually follow a very similar path. Here are two guys who worked their way from the very bottom of an organization all the way up. And then when it was their opportunity to get to the highest point for their path. So a head coach and GM, they had the opportunity to do that here in Atlanta. And I think it just shows a certain level of loyalty because, Arthur Smith, he literally started out as not a quality control coach with Tennessee, worked his way all the way up and did so, which is so uncommon these days. He did so through a multitude of coaching changes. he not only stayed, he not only survived these coaching changes, but he thrived through them, which you really don't see happening all that often. And then you flip over to Terry Fontenot. Here's a guy who came in just with like a marketing internship, and he worked his way from the ground up through the Saints organization in New Orleans. So here are two guys that know what it means to be loyal to something, know what it means to work from the ground up, know what it means to do the dirty work. I really think that's a really awesome quality that both of these men, I think, have.
And I love that fact that it's how Terry's interview went, how he brought his family on. And of course, the challenge was the fact that he, former Saints.
Oh, yeah.
So that
was the
it was like,
question.
don't you come in here with any type of anything. You need to be black and red. And he had the whole family dressed up and everything. I just thought that was beautiful. And I love the narrative that the Atlanta Falcons pages are doing. They're showing their family.
Yeah.
We're getting to know them as not only the player, but family men.
Yeah.
I love it.
I know. I love it too. I think that's a really important part. And that's something that I like to do in my job is be like, okay, who are these people under the helmets? Who are these people under the pads? Who are these people making these decisions? That's really important stories that I think need to be told because it humanizes these people. Mm-hmm. Like we forget that Julio Jones is like a human. Like we think he's some people think he's just a god. And it's like, while he has godlike abilities, he's still human. And I think it's really important that we understand that and we know that.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And I think moving forward, I feel like it's just going to be a different culture. Mm-hmm. I just feel like, I love the brotherhood. It was, it served its purpose, but I think that brotherhood is over with. So maybe it's more about family and love. I don't know how they're going with it. We'll see. We might get a new slogan. Hint, hint. You heard anything?
Oh yeah. Hopefully we get a new slogan. Hopefully.
I think they definitely will, and I think it's going to have a lot to do with kind of like meeting a certain standard, having expectations for people. I think with the brotherhood, it almost came at the cost of being complacent, being too content, and I really think that Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith are kind of coming up in here and being like, you know what, you're going to have to work to stay here. You're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to show us why you deserve to be here. I don't think anybody in Atlanta is complacent right now.
No, I think Atlanta right now, they want to win this year.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So I think a lot of players and, Dean Pease, all these people that's coming, it's like, you know what? I was about to retire, but I think I want to play because I see something going on with Atlanta right about now. That's why I'm thinking the narrative and accountability and everything. I think that's what's going on right about now. So I'm excited about it. Basically, J Rock, if you had a question.
I'm gonna let Twisted go, and then I don't have a question right now.
Okay.
Who are some other needs do you think the Falcons can go at after as bargain deals?
Great question. There are.
Sorry for the typo.
I knew I wasn't tripping. I'm like, what?
We're going to just mosey that on off the screen there. So there you go. Excuse us.
No, it's all good. All good. That's why I have an editor. I do that stuff all the time. It's all good. Yeah. So who could the Falcons go after? They're going to have to go after these like veteran minimum free agents is what they're going to have to look at. Now, what's interesting is I think I feel like I probably could sit here and give you some names. But even then, I think some of the names that I even pull out of a hat are probably too expensive. Like, that's the thing. Is like, I think that the Falcons are really looking at getting guys who are, some guys that maybe some other teams aren't looking at. And I think that's what Terry Fontenot, does well. He's done it a few times with the Saints in New Orleans. He pulled some guys out of almost thin air. And they turned into meaningful players for the Saints. And I think that's what he's got to do with the Falcons this year because they don't have the means to go out and sign. Like what I was saying before, they don't have the means to go out and sign a big-time free agent, which is fine for right now, but that they still got to field a team, Like they can't field the 40 – they have, 43, 44 signed players right now? You got to get more than that. Like you're going to need to establish depth at what it's going to be a cost, but if they can establish depth cheaply, that's the best thing that I think that they could do.
And that's why I call it bargain shopping right about
bargain
now.
Shopping.
1 and 2 year deals right about now. So nothing fancy, nothing big right about now.
I said a couple months ago, I was like, if the Falcons give a deal that's larger than 2 years, they're just gonna be handing out, like, it's like Oprah, like, you get a 1 year deal, you get a 1 year deal. And like that's what the Falcons are gonna be right now, because that's the only thing they can do.
Oh yeah.
And the cap goes up in a couple years too. So that's also a good thing that they're bargaining on this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta keep in mind about that.
Yeah, especially with Matt Ryan's contract restructure, which I'm sure we'll get into at some point. Like,
we gotta talk about that.
Oh yeah, we gotta talk about it.
You know what? Speaking of, might as well go ahead and get into it. Let's do it.
Okay.
Matt Ryan structure.
Yeah, I'll tell y'all what. That was a move that surprised me. Like, I was talking to some people and I was like, we're really talking about the Falcons potentially drafting a quarterback at number 4. Like, we're talking about moving on from Matt Ryan. And then the Falcons literally on like Tuesday, before the league year starts on Wednesday, they like come out and say, oh yeah, we restructured Matt's contract. And I was like, what is happening? Like, why are we not restructuring Grady Jarrett's contract? Like, what is this? I was so confused. And I was like, I guess this is essentially solidifies that, like, the Falcons are not going to draft a quarterback at number 4. Like, that was the original school of thought that I had immediately. I was like, okay, like, all those mock drafts everybody did with having the Falcons draft a quarterback at number 4, like, throw those out. But the more we've set in this and the more we've kind of looked at it and the more that you kind of think, like, the Falcons have put out some feelers that, like, they still may be looking at drafting a quarterback at number 4. And if not drafting a quarterback at number 4, trading down and maybe getting one in late first, early second. Mm-hmm. And I like that. I personally, if we're asking me, my personal, that I would trade down. I would do it every time, because I just think that it makes more sense for what the Falcons are doing right now. Get to the end of Matt Ryan's contract where you don't have over $40 million of a cap hit hanging over your head, in like what there is in 2022 and 2023. Get out from under that, and then you have a lot more breathing room. And I think that's the right move for the Falcons. But I know I saw a comment like Penei Sewell, like, people want Penei coming up in here, and like, that's great. I don't know if that'll happen, especially now that Matt Gono has signed his.
Yes, that was today.
Yeah, that happened today. He re-signed, and he's on a 1-year deal too. So maybe it's a situation. I think right now, if I had to put out feelers for what I think the starting lineup looks like, I think they would keep Jake Matthews at tackle, and then put Matt Gono at left guard, and have him take that chance. I know he's a swing tackle, but I think you could maybe make it work for a year.
Okay, let me see what some of the comments are saying. I definitely think we should trade back Parsons for me. He wants Parsons.
Yeah, okay. I think, gosh, the Falcons need. I actually wrote today. This story will come out tomorrow, so sneak peek. But today I was writing this whole big old look at the Falcons' last decade of edge rushers and how many misses they have had in the last decade in terms of edge rushers, and how they've gotten to the position they're in now, where they have Dante Fowler, and that's like pretty much it. And he didn't do anything last year. So y'all be on the lookout for that tomorrow. But it was really interesting to go.
Looking out for it, definitely. I'm going to put your Twitter link out there. I'm going to go ahead and get that too.
Yeah, look out for that tomorrow. But I say all of that to say the Falcons need to hit on an edge rusher in the draft. I want to see the Falcons draft an edge rusher pretty high, because they need it so bad, and they need somebody who's going to be able to come in and make a difference immediately in pass rush. Immediately, because they haven't had that in so long.
Absolutely. J Rock, you had something?
So to add on to that, this is going to be my question for you. Do you see any defensive ends or edge rushers that's like, oh yeah, maybe the Falcons should draft him at 4?
Yeah,
I like names.
I like Parsons a lot. I mean, I think he's one of the best, I think, in this draft class. And I think that, I was looking at some other guys. I'm going to butcher their names.
I do it too. Don't feel bad.
Joseph Osai from Texas. I like him a lot. And I think he's kind of an under the radar guy. I also like Aziz Ojulari. From Georgia, but that's also me being a Georgia girl, and I like what I see from him. And I like the other Penn State guy, Jason Owens, I think. I don't know. The other Penn State edge rusher. I like him a lot too. So those are some of the names. I probably butchered all of them, but I really like all of them. I think the Falcons could take any of them, and I'd be okay with it.
Okay.
And those people that you name, they all are athletic and have length and wingspan.
Yeah.
As far as getting off the tackle, doing a swing move and finessing, they're gonna have some attributes. We just gotta hope that coaching staff gets them up to speed right away. Like dealing with the COVID situation, we don't know how it's gonna be as far as training camp and mini camp. So we need them ASAP working out. Like especially all the defense, we need them working a lot in the off season.
Yeah, and I would even say like even the secondary, because I feel like they're going to get some guys in there. I would think that they're definitely going to have to draft a young guy. I think Jalen Hawkins is probably going to get more of a go at it this year. It's a young guy. There's going to be a lot of young pieces everywhere. And I know Dean Pease made the comment in his opening press conference that he loved the fact that the Falcons are young. Because he said, he was like, sometimes when you get some veterans in there, they're very set in their ways. These young guys, these rookies, when you get them in there, he was like, they're more pliable. You can tell them something and you can see their transformation over the course of a couple weeks. And so I thought that was really great what he said, and it makes me really excited to see what he'll do with this defense. I think the Dean Pease hire was my favorite hire of the offseason, but that's just me. But I think that I just that's what I think. And I think that it'll be really interesting to see kind of how, hopefully they do get mini camps. Hopefully they do get that opportunity, because it really it was missed. And I think like it hurt some guys not being able to have those, and it kind of slowed down their progress. I'm a real big advocate that now we're getting like vaccinations, which I'm getting my vaccine on the 30th. Whoop, whoop. But like now that we're able to get going and maybe see the end of the pandemic, fingers crossed, knock on wood, all the things. Maybe we can get back to more of a normal setting for these guys.
Definitely.
I agree.
And I want to get into, since we've been talking about free agency a little bit, just about these recent signings. I'm going to put it up there first, Mike. All right. And then I'll take it down. Because it's blocking your face. We don't want it to block your face too much.
Gotcha.
But what?
Oh, you're making that face.
What are your thoughts on the signings of Mike Davis, I'll butcher that, Mingo, Erik Harris, and Brandon Copeland?
Okay.
Pronounce their first name.
No. I think it's Barkevious. I think it's like K.
Okay.
I think. I'm not sure though. Don't ask me. Don't call me on that. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask him whenever we talk to him. Like, please pronounce your name. I really liked all of these. I thought Mike Davis was the most interesting because we know the Falcons need to figure out the running back situation. Like, I mean, to have Ito Smith be your lead guy, like, congrats to Ito. Ito's great. You love seeing that. You love seeing an underdog. But the fact that you were paying Todd Gurley so much money, you're paying him millions of dollars, and you're running out there Ito Smith, who you're paying $750,000, like, not great. The Falcons need to establish more of a run game. They can't be one-dimensional in a way that I think they were last year. So I think Mike Davis adds a little experience, and especially after seeing what he did with Carolina, playing a lot more last year when Christian McCaffrey wasn't able to play. I thought he did some good things. I think this is a good move. He's from Stone Mountain, so you love that. I'm pretty sure his brother is from Atlanta. I think he lives in Atlanta. I think he has a really close relationship with his brother. I'd love to find his brother and just chat with him and see what he thinks about his younger bro coming to Atlanta. But I think that's a good move. And I think, honestly, it makes me think that the draft plan of potentially drafting a running back doesn't change, because I think that Mike Davis would provide kind of a veteran experience to where he could kind of lead that younger guy along and get him through that rookie year, allow the game to slow down for him. And so the Falcons aren't throwing out an 18-year-old kid against some of these defensive ends, so I think that's great. Barkevious Mingo, I think, is an interesting addition, as is Brandon Copeland. I was talking earlier about how we were talking to Brandon Copeland earlier today. Very much enjoyed that conversation, because here's someone who's very well known to this coaching staff. And he was talking about how a lot of them he called it a full circle moment for him, that a lot of these coaches knew him when he was an undrafted free agent coming out of University of Pennsylvania and didn't have any, it wasn't on anyone's radar. And now he's a 9-year vet, and he's coming to the Falcons, kind of a guy who knows what's up. Also, I thought it was really great. He teaches a class on finances.
Wow.
And he has this partnership with this website that's does financial guidance and series and stuff. And he does this, it's like a YouTube video episodes, and it's called Coping with Money. And he did one just this past week where he was talking about what you should do with your third stimulus check. And so this is a really
I have to check that out. You know what? I'm finding that.
Yeah, it was really cool. I tweeted it out, so you'll have to go see that. But and then Erik Harris, all I've heard about Erik Harris is how great of a guy he is in the locker room. And some of my colleagues have said, if anything, this guy is going to be a leader, and he's going to get guys in the right headspace. He's going to hold guys accountable, which I think is something that the Falcons need now that Ricardo Allen's no longer on the team, especially that young secondary. So I think that. I think though a lot of people were Erik Harris, okay, a lot of these guys, they're who are these guys? And it's
yeah, it was
who? Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be majority of the time. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask the people in the chat one. Am I the only one right now who's absolutely in love with Tori? This woman is absolutely. Look, she knows this stuff. She hasn't paused one time. I'm absolutely loving it. Hey,
that's why you had to get on.
Everybody in the chat right now. Everybody in the chat, please. All right. If you're loving what Tori is saying right now, please say, I love you, Tori. In the chat, everybody, I love you, Tori.
Go ahead and put that in there.
Tori. I love you, Tori. Let's get
it. Say you're not the only one.
Oh, somebody said she's mine. Uh-oh.
Wow. Okay. Well. We see how that goes. All these she's, you know what? I'm gonna let y'all have y'all comments there. I love you, Tori. Oh,
yeah, there we go.
Oh,
hey,
but no,
Tori can come to the
seriously,
cookout. Hey, y'all seen that comment?
Yeah, that's fine.
But no, seriously, I really wanted you to have you on, because I seen you on another interview, and I was just oh, your personality is amazing. And like you said earlier, sometimes you don't know the player,
right?
You don't know they're human. We don't know the personality behind these profiles of, you reporting the news and things like that. So people don't get to know you either. So they just see you as, whatever you're saying is wrong, and they come at you in your DMs, but they don't know who you are. So I just definitely wanted to shine some light on you a little bit. But yeah, Mike, we had to do that, definitely.
Hey, real quick.
Everybody needs some love. Everybody needs love every once in a while. Come on, man.
Absolutely.
Hey, real quick. The chat did say Fabian was missing. He was the newest one from yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We did miss that. Okay.
What do you think about Fabian from the Washington football team?
Yeah, I think he'll be an interesting piece to that cornerback room. I say this a lot, but that cornerback room is still young. I know that, some of those outside of AJ Terrell, Kendall Sheffield, Isaiah Oliver, they're still on their rookie contracts. And I know that a lot of people give them a lot of grief, but they're still learning. I think that they have a lot to learn. I think they have to step up, especially Isaiah Oliver. I think that this could be a really important year for him. And I think with Fabian coming in, I think it's going to be interesting to see how he pushes them. And just kind of seeing what Dean Pease does with the secondary. I think it's going to be maybe simple. He even said that he's thinking about like making what's going on in the back end pretty simple, but what they're doing up front to be pretty complicated and have a lot of different looks. And he was like, we're going to be blitzing from everywhere.
Oh, yes. I love that.
That is what we want to see. I love that. My dad was a defensive coordinator. So like, I'm like, send everyone. Like, I love it.
Yes.
People come from every end.
She's trying to kill Mike. Oh my God. This saying it's just perfect. Oh my goodness.
I'm glad that you said that about our corners too, because our corners is young. Fabian just adds to the mix, and he's 26. So
right, yeah, yeah. So I think he's going to push them in a way that maybe even an older guy wouldn't. You know, if they would have signed someone who was like 28, 29, 30, I think it's different having a 26-year-old in the mix where you know that he could kind of like get in there a little bit more. You know, just a thought.
And he's hungry. He's hungry. He's coming from a different organization. He knows the Falcons have winning seasons before compared to Washington football. So I expect him to push them, and I expect Oliver maybe to go to free safety like Mike has been saying for a lot. I mean, I can see that. Yeah. Fabian being that second corner and Sheffield looking to be that slot corner. I can see that happening for sure. And with Sheffield being in the slot corner and blitzing, that speed with Dean Pease, oh my God. I'm getting happy just thinking about it. Listen to you talk about it. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It just like makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot another veteran that we have is Bleedy Ray. Out of that whole bunch, he is the oldest out of that group. So there goes our veteren right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And he knows how to make plays.
Exactly. And he fills the role in. He fills the roles pretty good. When we lose somebody, he fills the role. Yeah, right in.
I got one thing though. The two people that you said, Mike Davis. One, he's from Stevenson High, so I really do. He's from my area where I grew up in. One thing about Mike Davis, people forget he was second last year in forcing missed tackles. That's a key stat, especially just thinking about how Todd Gurley barely broke tackles last year. Just adds an instinct to this backfield. And he's good at catching the ball out the backfield.
Yeah.
He was playing with Teddy B.
Yeah, that was something that I added when I was talking about when I wrote about what I thought about them acquiring him. And I literally said, I was like, that's something that I want to see the Falcons do more of. I don't think they did nearly enough as having the running back involved with Matt Ryan, like outside of just handing the ball off to him. I want to see them get involved everywhere, especially when Julio was out. You know, we talk about when Julio was out and you aren't utilizing the guys in the backfield, like in the pass game, it didn't make any sense to me because, again, it goes back to being one-dimensional. And I think that Mike Davis does add that because we know that he can do it.
Yep.
And he's gonna force punishment. people remember tackling Michael Turner. I can see that he's a little bit more stockier than Michael Turner.
Yeah,
but he might have more speed than Michael Turner. So
a good point.
He's gonna be an asset to Matt Ryan, and Matt Ryan's gonna take advantage of him. I promise you. That's one thing about Matt Ryan. He'll take advantage of those backs if you let him.
Yep.
And I have a question for you. I have a question for you. All right. You kind of, I'll say this. Which side of the ball are you most a fan of? Offensive side of the ball or the defensive side of the ball?
Defense. I know that's probably crazy to say because, you know, we have. I ran him off. No.
Oh my
God. What I'll say is like, and maybe this goes back to my dad being a defensive coordinator, but I've always had a very soft spot in my heart for defensive players. But what I'll say, and I know that we can talk about Calvin Ridley, we can talk about Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, like we can talk about these guys all day long as the Falcons' main weapons. But you know the people who I love watching: Grady Jarrett, Foye, Dion. Let's see, I really liked AJ Terrell. I thought he did amazing. I say amazing. I thought he did really well as a year one rookie corner in this league. I thought he did. And I said this the other day, I was like, I would have called his first year in the league superb if he would have come down with that interception against Patrick Mahomes when they were playing Kansas City. But he doesn't get the superb title because he didn't come down with that. But I just love, especially like Grady Jarrett. Like someone like Grady Jarrett, I just enjoy watching so much. Someone like Foye, I love his story. The fact that he came from Yale and he was a 6th rounder and was a safety, and he transformed himself into a league linebacker. And this was his first chance to really have a starting role. I thought that was, I loved that story. I loved talking to Foye about that kind of stuff. And and Michael Walker, here's somebody who came in and turned heads at training camp in a way that I don't think anybody was expecting him to. And it earned him a spot in the rotation. I just really like these defensive guys. I really do. And I think a lot of people get hung up on the Falcons offense and they forget that there are some good pieces on this defense. I liked Ricardo Allen. I liked Keanu Neal. I liked what I saw from Keanu Neal a lot, actually, if we're being completely honest. I mean, here's somebody who, tore his ACL, who ruptured his Achilles in 2 back-to-back years, came back and played the way he played last year. I was fairly impressed. I mean, I wasn't expecting that. So I like watching this defense. I do. And I think with Dean Pease as, the coordinator, I'm really excited to see what he cooks up with these guys, because I've been like really diving into Dean Pease like playbook and all of his different stops. And I'm very excited to see what he does now that he's come out of retirement and wanted to coach with Arthur Smith with the Falcons. So we'll see.
And I have a question. And then it's actually, we mentioned Keanu Neal. So we do have a question right here. With him gone now, do you see Jalen Hawkins take the next step by being enforcer or ball hawk skills he showcased?
I do. I really do. I think that I think this is his chance. He got in there a little bit rotationally last year and then had the concussion and was out for a couple weeks. So we saw him sparingly, but I'm looking forward to seeing more of him. And I do think that he's going to get that shot. I do think that he's going to have more of an opportunity, a bigger role. I think there's going to be more asked of him this year. And I'm looking forward to seeing like what he does with that opportunity, because, I think this could be a hit or miss year. It could be something where he goes out this year and maybe is not prepared, and you're seeing a guy learning on the fly, or he could go out there and surprise a few folks, and it could be something to be excited about with him. You just don't know right now because we haven't seen enough of him. So I'm excited about it.
Okay. And I'm sorry I cut you off, Twisted. Did you have anything else?
That's you was going exactly where I was going. I was going to ask her, did she bring up Keanu? Let's get to this question then. So but I was going to say something about Erik. You brought him up too. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to be an asset. One reason why is because Ricardo Allen, he had a couple injuries down the line, and he kind of was a step or two slower on getting to plays. I think with Erik, he's phenomenal at reading coverages.
Yes.
He's always where the ball is at. So I think with him being in that backfield, he's going to teach Jalen and I think Sheffield and Oliver a thing or two, because he's a warrior.
And I think he even said this when we were talking to him the other day. He said that he sees himself as kind of like the leader of the secondary. He'll get people lined up. He said he sees things really well. He knows where people need to be and where they should be going. That's so important. Because
I'm glad you said that.
Like you lost that with Ricardo, because Ricardo was that guy for the Falcons. He was. Now you replace it with somebody like Erik Harris, who has that ability, who sees the field in that way, and who can communicate to that. And that's another thing. Communication is huge. Being able to communicate that with different guys across the field, very important. And I think that's something that almost like he'll be quarterbacking the secondary. That's going to be important.
Okay,
and J-Rock, you had a question.
So we know, I think everybody in the chat knows that you love defense, and you like your favorite, coaching hire in Dean Pease. Mm-hmm. What player you think that will stand out in Dean Pease defense this season?
Good question.
That is a good question. I'm looking forward to seeing Foye. And I think I'm looking forward to seeing how Dean Pease utilizes him, because like what I said, he jumped on the scene for me last year in a way that I don't know if I was 100% expecting him to do. And now that Dean Pease gets a hold of him and he can maybe do some different things and maybe be a little bit more versatile. I mean, this is a guy who, like what I was saying, was a safety in college. You can maybe use him in a bunch of different ways. And I like that versatility. I like what Foye did in 2020. I'm really excited to see how Dean Pease kind of really gets in there and really kind of tweaks the game even a little bit more for Foye. And I think he'll thrive in that.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel that.
I like that.
And we're gonna probably this is going on an hour. I know I said 30 minutes an hour, so I didn't want to hold you a little too long. Of course, if you want to hang, you definitely can hang with us. But we're gonna go ahead and get to a couple last questions and everything, and let you go on for your evening. And we just love that you've been on. But any last minute questions, guys?
No, that's it.
That's it.
She's excellent.
You've been amazing.
She pretty much said everything. Go ahead, Mike.
I'll say this. I got one more question. Would you grace us with your presence at least one more time? I absolutely enjoyed it.
Yeah, this is the most fun I've had in a while. I loved coming on talking to you guys. Y'all made it so comfortable, because I know a lot of times I get really anxious when coming on these type of things because I don't talk that often. I just don't, and especially like live like this, it kind of like freaks me out a little bit. But you guys made it so comfortable. I laughed so much. I so enjoyed coming on talking to you guys. So anytime y'all want me to come back on, you follow me on Twitter. Like I'll give y'all my number. Like whenever y'all want to chat, anytime you want me to come on, y'all let me know.
I would definitely hit you up. We do have an upcoming draft show coming up.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But of course I know you're probably going to be very busy with that. So I'm pretty sure you will be.
If we can work it out, I'll come on. I promise.
Oh, that would be lovely.
If I can work it out with my schedule according to what that time looks like, because it will be busy.
It can be busy. I understand. So.
But if I can work it out, I'll try and pop on, even if it's just for 15 minutes. I could do that.
Okay. Please, because we're gonna do it for like the first round. Mm-hmm. So I know everybody's gonna be sitting around their TVs watching it anyway. So if you're not busy, obligated to anything else, please grace us for a couple of minutes if you need to. But one last question I definitely wanted to ask: what message would you give someone who inspires, especially women like myself, who aspires to be like you?
Oh man, I feel like I could go so many different directions with this answer, but what I will say is the biggest thing for me, and this is something that I learned in 2020, is we've got to make sure that our mental health is okay. We have to make sure that we're taking care of our mentals. We got to make sure that we're okay in our head. And I think a lot of times with journalism, especially this career in this field, you're on all the time. You are reachable 24/7. You can't turn it off. And I think that can weigh down on a person. And I think that you can feel very overwhelmed very easily. And so the message that I would give to someone who would want to be in my position is like, still take time for yourself. Still find ways to do things for yourself. Make it be about you, not about the job. And I think that's something that I learned in 2020. I had a really rough time where I was like coming on the Falcons beat and I was getting basically shit on Twitter all the time about like what I knew, what I didn't know, all that kind of stuff. I really took it to heart. And then, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're very isolated. You can't see people. You can't talk to people. You can't hang out with people. And I literally felt during that time that it was the lowest that I'd been in terms of my anxiety. I was anxious all the time and I couldn't get control of it. And then I finally,
that's me.
Yeah. Like I didn't know how to turn it off. I felt like I was drowning all the time. Mm-hmm. And so what I did is my faith is very important to me. I started praying. I was like, Lord, just please help me figure this out. I don't want to be a victim to this anymore. And then he really turned it around for me. I really believe that, because I started going to therapy biweekly. I started taking anxiety medication, because come to find out, like, the hormone that causes the fight or flight, like, reaction, it literally was like overproducing my body. So started taking anxiety medication. And now here I am. That was in October. Now here I am in March, as happy, as content, as confident as I think I've ever felt. So everyone out there who's listening, like, make sure you're good mentally. We're all we're all going through it. Like, if you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. That's so important. And I think that's something that we've got to continue breaking that stigma down, whether it's with athletes, whether it's with people in my position, whether it's you guys, whether it's just somebody you're randomly seeing on the street. We're all going through something. We gotta be there for each other.
Okay. And I think Twisted had one last, and then we will let you go for the evening, and we appreciate you. Go ahead, Twisted.
Okay, this is not NFL topics. I just want to know, what was your favorite sports movie growing up?
Oh man. Gosh. I loved Love and Basketball. I watched that a lot.
Okay.
I really liked that movie. I really like. Okay, this is not y'all are gonna laugh so much. This is not a sports movie, but it is one of my absolute favorite movies. She's the Man. It's technically a sports movie because they do play soccer. I will die on this hill that it is a sports movie, because it's one of my absolute favorite movies. I will quote it. I literally watched it with my roommate the other night. I was like quoting the whole entire thing. I love that movie. I also really loved Coach Carter. I thought that's just a great movie. I'm trying to think. Also, like, faith-based, like Facing the Giants. I know it's not great acting, but I loved that story, and I loved it.
Yeah.
Like, I just thought it was so good. I watched it with my family. So yeah, those are some of my favorites. But She's the Man takes the cake.
So you didn't watch the other Giants, Little Giants, Icebox?
Giants. I did. It just, I don't think it ever was like my favorite. I did watch Sandlot. I did love. I loved that. That was cool.
So we have a question from the fans. They just dying to ask, because I've seen it a couple of times. Who's your favorite football player?
Ooh, I'm trying to think of like who. It'll be a Georgia football player. Just because that's just who, like, my uncle was
Georgia alumni.
Yeah, like my dad and my uncle both went there. My uncle was actually the first mascot, the first hairy dog at Georgia after they won the national championship. So little tidbit. I would have said Herschel Walker, but I think his political stance recently, I'm not really into that. So maybe not him anymore. I'm trying to think of people who were there when I was there. I really like Matthew Stafford just because I love his daughters. He has 4 little girls, and they're all so cute. But I'll tell y'all who this isn't a football player. My favorite player, just any player, Hank Aaron. Hank Aaron is my favorite. And I'll show y'all this. My grandfather just gave me this for my birthday this year. It is a golf glove where he was playing in this golf tournament in 1996, and Hank Aaron was at this golf tournament, and he gave him this signed.
That's lovely. That's fire. That is gold, right there.
Yeah, and he gave it to me for my birthday, and like we both like kind of cried because it meant so much to me. And then I have like a shadow box, and so I'm gonna put it in there. So I know that's not my favorite. That's not my favorite football player, but that's my favorite athlete.
That's overall. That's a athlete. Overall, Hank Aaron was loved by many, so I definitely understand it. So we appreciate you being on today. Thank you for taking the time out. You are more than welcome anytime if you're bored and you just want to bring us the breaking news. Bring it.
Okay, sounds good. Anytime. I'm serious. Anytime y'all want to have me on, you just let me know.
Definitely. So we definitely will be communicating.
We really appreciate you.
The audience loved it. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and have your evening back. But thank you. Awesome. Y'all follow her on Twitter, people. In case you don't know, Tori, I'm not going to say it again.
Tori _ McElhaney on Twitter. Y'all can follow
Thank
me
you.
there. You're welcome.
There you go. I will put it in the description too, people. I'll put it in the chat so you can find her as well. But thank you, Tori.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night. So great. Have so much
later, Tori.
Y'all.
But she's amazing.
Definitely.
That was really good.
We got to get more women on like that. That was, hey man. I don't even know where to start. Like, where the hell do we start?
You couldn't even stay in your seat.
Hey, look, she said defense.
Yeah.
Mad Mike was in love.
No. Maggie and Tori, look, when she said defense, I know Maggie, she always said, we need some defense. We need some defense. So I just thought about Maggie when she said, I was like, okay, her and Maggie definitely going to get along. They are definitely going to get along. All right.
So we really trying to get her to come on this draft show. So even if it's just for a couple of minutes, I want her to come around that time we get to that fourth pick. Like, but
that'd be amazing.
I know she's probably gonna be busy, but if she finds some type of way to give us a little presence, I would appreciate it. So y'all tune in for that show because it's gonna be wild. Because we're trying to get a couple of nice little familiar faces to come on if we can. We're really trying to make that happen. So. Y'all look out for some prizes for that show. We're really trying to make this a thing. So, but shoot, what is there else to talk about? I mean,
we gotta shout you out first, Maggie. We gotta shout you out first, Maggie. Appreciate you for getting that, Miss Tori on here, man. That was fire, man. She knows her football.
She tells me what to damn do. Okay, so she's doing a damn good job. All right, she's running. This is all Maggie, all right? This is all her. So everybody show Maggie some love in this thing, man.
Mm-hmm. And everybody's saying that she can come to the cookout. We're gonna have a cookout for the draft show. I'm gonna get back to your comment about the mental health, Carrie. I'm gonna get back to that. But yes. We really this is gonna be fun. I'm definitely gonna be having some wings or something in the camera eating. Don't be surprised. I might have a couple of drinks in my hand, so don't be surprised what might come out of everybody's mouth on this show because it's gonna be raw.
Oh, I got the watermelon already. I got it.
That's fun. So, just like Asia said, she said that draft party is gonna be lit. She already know.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
You bringing the ribs? Okay. Oh, you want me to bring the ribs? You got your milk. Okay. So yeah, y'all tune into that. Thank you. You know, and we got a nice surprise. I don't know if anybody heard it on the last episode, but let's go ahead and get in the lineup a little bit since we still got a couple of people on. Tomorrow night, Aaron Freeman.
Woo!
Got him on tomorrow, and then Terrence Mathis on Monday, people. Exciting.
One of the great Atlanta Falcons in history, man. Like, this dude is a GOAT. One of the best, most underrated receivers of all time. This dude is a beast, man. So, man, I can't wait for that one. Look, man, like I said, we're trying to help you guys, man. This is all about the nation, man. We would not be able to do it without a lot of you guys, man. So we definitely appreciate it.
And I want to go back to that. Let me go back to her comment because she basically said something real quick. Then I know Twisted, you about to say something, but speaking of mental health, love Hayden Hurt's story and how he's breaking that stigma for athletes and mental health. I'm glad she brought that up because it is true. Like she said, players like doing this right about now, trying to give you guys this each and every week, all these news articles, like your mind is on the go. Like I literally tried to lay my butt down before this and my mind was just like, no, I couldn't even chill. So I get it. Your mind is just on the constant, like I'm missing something. You do have to take a time out of your busy day, even if it's just 15 minutes. And now my Lust Exchange channel, I do motivational videos and things like that, but I always preach about taking time to have some mental health time for yourself. You need to take a break. So I'm glad you brought that up, Carrie. That's most important. Players are not you still got a mental break. You know, you definitely do. So you had something to say, Twisted?
Oh, I was gonna tell Mike we got to make sure we bring up that Mathis and Dion battle they had.
Yeah, we got to bring that one up, man. Look, this is going to be a great show, man. Man, this is reliving just great times in the Atlanta Falcons history, man. Like this, he was a member of that team. Man, good gracious. We're talking about a big time player, and I'll say this. Damn, where it goes? No, I'll go back into this mental health. A lot of people don't know what a lot of people don't know about doing this, man. And that's why I say you guys help us in a lot of ways that you really don't, you really don't understand. Like, because I've been doing, like Maggie and I've been going 10 years, a lot, we've been going about 10 years doing this. So a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that. This is 10 years ground for me. So all you see right now, a lot of people just say 5,000 subscribers and, we're headed to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. This is a 10-year grind, man. This is a 10-year grind. And sometimes you wear out mentally. So a lot of you people, you know what I'm saying, who aspire to be a journalist, an athlete, get your mental health intact first. Always look out for yourself first because, look, man, the grind never stops. It never stops. Your mind never. I just had to tell Maggie to take 5 minutes and chill, and she couldn't do it. She couldn't do it. All right, she couldn't do it. So
I was excited about this interview. I really was. My mind was just like, you know what? I couldn't rest. So I knew this was going to be an amazing interview because I follow her and I just see what she tweets and everything. And she's a firecracker. She really, she speaks what she got to say. And I love that the fact that she's all about social injustice and things like that. So I love all of that about her. But I wanted to get back to the super chat because, of course, we don't like to miss it. But thank you, Supermoon Vibes. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, my brother.
We definitely appreciate you. But look, man, what else is there to talk about?
Hey,
we don't hit on everything.
She put it on Smash, man. I don't know, man.
You just killed it. Nobody got any questions and everything. Like, what in the world is going on with y'all people? Y'all have no questions?
I think they was just in awe. But if you have some questions, we open up for the last minute.
Everything that you had to say.
Oohs and eyes, man.
Yeah. Anybody got any players? Any questions? We'll open it up for a little bit, and we'll probably go ahead and head on off because look, we don't have a busy week. We got another interview tomorrow.
And we got one tomorrow. So, man, look, I'll just say this. And look, man, the fans, man. I don't know how many times I'm keep saying this, but the fans, man, y'all just make it go, man. Y'all keep us going. But please hit up Atlanta Falcons Nation. All right. Hit up Atlanta Falcons Nation. We're really trying to get to 1,000 there. If you are a follower, you subscribe here. Head to Atlanta Falcons Nation as well as Twisted Torch, man. He got a lot of good stuff. We got so much stuff coming. Like this. We got a talented crew, man. We got a talented crew, and we got a lot of stuff coming. All right, so it's just not going to be Atlanta Falcons stuff. And that's just I'm throwing that out there. That's probably I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but we got a lot of stuff coming for you. Got a lot of good stuff, thing.
Now we have a question from Supermoon since he, put the super chat. Do you think we'll trade down twice actually to acquire draft capital and add debt?
No, I think it'll be one time. I think they'll trade down one time to get the gain capital, then they'll trade up to get the player that they really want in the middle rounds.
Go ahead.
I like how she said we might draft a QB second or third because we've been stating this for a while. If we're gonna draft,
pretty much wasn't in line what we've been saying.
Yeah. Like we can't afford a QB at 4. Did you see how that line? We can't afford a QB at 4. Just saying. I'm just being honest. So look for Mac Jones maybe in that late second or third round. If we do trade back, I can see that. He can sit for a while. But please stop tweeting me about Zach Wilson. I don't want to hear nothing else about Zach Wilson. I'm serious. I am serious.
No more Zach Wilson.
I can't deal, Mike. I can't deal. I just can't.
As long as it's not Justin Fields, I'm good, man. I'm talking about anybody except with Justin Fields. If we get one more damn question about Justin Fields, I swear, all right? I swear, y'all will never hear another rant from me. Ever.
Oh, Lord.
We don't drop J-Rock. But I'm gonna go back to Chris White's comment. More women need to be recognized like Tori. I'm definitely
Absolutely.
I reached out to probably the beautiful, somebody that Mike loves. I reached out to her. I ain't gonna say it yet because I don't want to spoil it yet. But one of the ESPN's beauties.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I know who you're talking about.
I have hit her up, and we're gonna see if we can get her on the show. Now, I'm pretty sure I'm about to sit back and hide my face because she is just amazingly beautiful. It's gonna be a whole bunch of oh my god, if she's here, y'all. But
I can guarantee you I'm gonna behave. I'll just say that. I cannot guarantee that I will behave. All right.
You wasn't behaving tonight.
I was behaving. What do you mean? I wasn't. Wow. Look, man, look.
I'm just joking, Mike. But
look. I love women who know their ish. All right, I love women who know their ish. Look, man, if you got a home girl, a friend, a girlfriend, a wife, and she know her stuff, please tell her to come on AFN and she can get her shine on. I love it. I want to empower more women to come on and show and be heard because, like you said, that really pissed me off to see what they left. Like these dudes are inboxing and DMing her, like with these disgusting, like that really pissed me off. Y'all know how I go hard for Miss Maggie. If you say anything about Miss Maggie on this show, all right, y'all know I'm gonna go hard for her. That really pissed me off to see that.
Yeah.
One thing we gotta show love to Tori for is that she brought up with the not being enough black sports analysts, you know what I mean? And I really appreciate her seeing that part because we do need more of that as far as in our field that we're working on.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it. I was just like, well, I just love her even more.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because she's really vocal. I can tell you that she's really vocal about her stance on things, and I've just been following for quite some time. So in case people didn't know who she was, y'all check her out. She's amazing, and she may be back. She's excited about coming back.
Absolutely.
So we definitely would try to have her on quite often because she really knows her stuff, and then she's in there with those players to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's what we're trying to provide for you. Like I said, we want to provide nothing but the facts and the truth, inside information. This is coming from someone who's there. Like this is what we're trying to provide for you. You're not going to get this elsewhere. Everybody else, they want to be the star. They want to be the star. Not here. We want to make you guys the star, where you get everything that you want, for the most part.
So what's that? Put Asia on.
Miss Asia. Oh, put Miss Asia on. Oh,
but she wants to come on. I've been inviting her for the longest.
Yeah,
I've been wanting Asia to come on.
Asia definitely knows what she's talking about.
I would love to have her add on to the cast because
y'all gonna put Asia on the spot. Oh,
because all these men on this show, it's like we need a little bit more softness.
Yes,
we need some more ladies.
Pull up, Asia. We need you. Pull up.
Come on, Asia. You can do it, girl. You can do it.
See, I got a friend that knows football that's from Atlanta, but she's a Saints fan. So that's the only issue. Like, she likes Atlanta, she's a Saints fan. If that makes sense. Shouts out to you, Diff.
I don't know.
Maybe for rivalry.
No, yeah, I'm just saying, yeah, she can come on like doing rivalry weeks, and I don't have nothing against it, but she'll be having her own opinions about these Falcons. So.
She can't talk too dirty, though. She stay in Atlanta, so she can't talk too crazy.
Somebody said, ew.
Oh, man. Oh, God.
Oh, man.
But no, seriously, ladies, I be seeing y'all in the chats. If you really want to come on, I'm opening it up. Just come on. Just come on.
Hey, Miss Maggie run this ship. Miss Maggie run this ship. So, look, if y'all want to come on, just hit her up, and I guarantee she'll put you on.
Same thing happened with me, so it's possible. Trust me.
Hey, that's what I'm seeing.
It's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. She hit me up. I was on the show like 2 days later. So if she tell you she's gonna take care of you, she's gonna take care of you. She don't lie. Ain't no cap in her rap.
I got them eyes for people. I know talent. I know talent. And that's why I was like, I saw that he was talking about he wanted to go live. It's like, shoot, be on the show tonight.
Yeah.
But I know you got some things coming up too. So y'all check out Twisted Torch TV for real though. Because I know you're gonna have a couple of things coming up.
Like Tori said, you have to make sure you take care of your mental health. So through these times, I've been trying to take it slow because my brother passed, and it's around this time, so it gets kind of tough for me to do things. But I'm coming back. Trust me. Mike and Maggie is pushing me. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna give y'all some more content moving forward for sure. So I appreciate all the fans. I appreciate this cast. Wonderful cast, man. You're not gonna find a group of people that are honest and be willing to listen to your opinion, like us. Just being honest.
J-Rock, you coming back on? Okay, we just in the back.
Man,
okay.
Up here eating. That man eating. Leave that man eating, man. He said,
I see you, Supermoon vibes. We might, we just trying to get a feel because, we had to reconstruct some things. So, we may have some room eventually, but we got to think about it.
We can talk. We'll just put it like that. We can talk.
Yes. Now we're looking for dedication, all of that. But we'll get into that later. But we really just want loyalty. And then we preach that because yes, Twisted Torch has been, handling his business right about now. But when I need you, and you're here. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important part. I don't care what's going on outside of that. As long as the communication is there, that's what I care about. So that's all I'm gonna say on that subject, though.
One call, that's all.
One call, that's all.
Okay, my bad, chat. It wasn't recent. It's just around the time that he passed. He died in 2010, but it happened April 1st. So around this time, it gets kind of tough for me to do certain things. That's it, guys. But I appreciate all y'all prayers, man. Shouts out to y'all being in the chat right now. I appreciate y'all.
Oh, definitely. So you might try to audition. Just hit me up. Well, auditions are not open, but I will put my email if you guys kind of want to start throwing yourselves out there, and I might get a little interested, maybe. I might change my mind about this. So Miss Maggie, no, it's not Miss Maggie T. It's Maggie T at AtlantaFalconsNation.com. I'll put it in the chat, people. But hey, if you're interested, you got some videos, you just want to pitch it, go ahead. I might just start looking. You never know.
If your ass suck, we're gonna tell you that you suck. All right. So don't get too happy if you don't damn suck. You live with a lot of people know y'all don't know football, and then you get on camera and you're like, what the hell are you talking about? Y'all ain't gonna embarrass me, goddamn. That's what's not gonna happen.
Well, you heard it from Mad Mike himself. If you suck, you will know it.
Hey, at least he honest. Some people are watching bomb.
Embarrassing me. I'm sorry. You didn't embarrass Maggie. You ain't embarrass me.
Oh no, I'm quick to, because we don't had quite a few auditions that didn't quite make the cut. Just let you know.
Gotta call a spade a spade.
Gotta call a spade a spade. Hey man, we need to go, man. Hey, we
need to go. Y'all tune in
it.
tomorrow for the Aaron Friedman interview tomorrow. I don't know what time that's going to be. 8:00 or so. 8:30. Okay.
It's about 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Okay, so we'll be back, people, and then check out Monday. And of course, if some breaking news pop out, you'll see us again. So we appreciate y'all, people. But it's hot. Y'all see this hair is sweating now. I'm about to be curly.
Woo, woo.
Lord, what's going on, people? It's hot in the ATL right about now, people. All right,
Hey, man,
people. J-Rock.
That being said, you ain't gotta go.
You got to get the hell out of here.
That's a fact.
There you go. That's what I was waiting on.
All right, people. Make sure y'all go ahead and subscribe to Twisted Torch TV as well, because we got to get them out of that 200. We got to get you up there to, I know he's taking a hiatus, but still subscribe to him, because when he come back with about 10 million videos like that. So y'all know y'all got to get ready for it, people. See y'all tomorrow.
Be safe, fans. Be safe, family. Appreciate y'all, man.
All right, people.